Wait, well, here we go. Hey, everybody, Dr. Brian here from Genesis, back for the second time with Dr. Sebastian from TRP. If you they might not have heard the first one, Doc, so we got to do a little bit of background on you and
Sure.
talk a little bit about how you wound up, where you're at. So, Dr. Sebastian's a super successful chiropractor and coaches hundreds of chiropractors around the United States and Puerto Rico. Tell me, giving them the 30-second, 1 minute of your history, and so they gain a little bit of knowledge about who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I used to coach. Started coaching the Hispanic doctors. So Argentina, Brazil, Spain, Mexico, and I just been really good at it in the sense of we've been helping different chiropractors in different economies, in different currencies, going through different, very different economic seasons. Bankrupt economies, catastrophe economies, recession economies, and being able to prove that the systems and procedures really are the same in all of them and produce the same results. So it's a matter of helping you become the person you need to become in order to perform and execute the process, the systems, the process and procedures, so you can actually get what you want, basically.
Yeah.
So I have three practices: one in Puerto Rico, two on the pipeline for the next 6 months in Puerto Rico, and I have practices, one in North Carolina, another in South Carolina, leveraging the Align Life franchise model. So yeah, I've been rocking and rolling since 2001, loving the life. I'm right now in Puerto Rico in awesome weather. Can't wait to see you back here, brother.
Looking forward to getting back there, man. It's been a little hectic here. So apologies in advance. I have some construction work happening behind me, and my camera's not even set up properly, but we'll make it work.
You look
So let's
great.
talk. What are we going to talk about? Last time we talked about retention. I think it makes sense to maybe revisit maybe the big picture of retention and a little bit about what we spoke about last time. So
Sure, absolutely. So the main message or the main topic is we're on recession on retention right now, and we talked on our last live about why patients stay, which are the big seven, right, of why they stay, which are also the reasons of why they drop out. And we talked about value economy, we talked about product confusion, table talk, workshops, perks, exams and reports, flow and expectations and agreements. So we did like a generalized overview of those seven, and we went deep on value economy. So if you missed it, you can go back and watch it. Also, the reason we're focusing on retention is because in October 22 and 23, we're going to have the retention immersion, the Remarkable Practice retention immersion. It's going to be live in Chicago, where we're going to go not 1 or 3 layers deep. We're going 10 layers deep on retention. What is it? Why is it? And how you can leverage the things, the seven big things, and how to, if you implement just one, your retention is going to go up at least 10 to 15%. So that's a big number long term. So today, out of those seven, we're going to talk about progress exams. And I always like to start the retention topic with retention is a reflection of your clarity. So if attraction is a reflection of your certainty, if your conversion is a reflection of your conviction, then your retention is a reflection of your clarity. And clarity around what? Around your product. What is it that you do? Why you do it, and how you do it. And not only you being clear about it, your team and your patients. So there is the main thing, the number one thing. So today we're going to talk about the number two thing that's going to mostly affect your retention, because the number one thing is the Better Results Faster workshop. It's your health talk. We call it the Better Results faster workshop. That's the most highly leveraged procedure or system implemented in the office, in the patient process, that literally produces the most clarity around what is it that you do, why you do it, and then how.
So, Doc, this is a workshop that TRP doctors do in their workshop, and the audience is their patients, obviously. At what point, this is about retention, so this is after they've converted, and then at what point after they converted? Is it within the first week? Is it after their first re-exam? When
Very
does it
good.
happen?
So the Better Results Faster workshop should happen within that first week when they start. So
Okay.
if the problem is, first of all, if the doctor is doing the Better Results Faster workshop, the second question is, if you're doing it, how often you're doing it. Because if you only do it once a month, then, you know, if you did it yesterday and today you started somebody, it's going to be 3 weeks. It's going to be almost in their first progress exam.
Right.
So the best thing, the best practice is to do it weekly. I did it twice a week for the longest time, because we had so many new patients, so many were converting, we had so many full families, we just didn't have space. So I had to divide it, and I had to do it twice, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that will be the Better Results Faster workshop. We're gonna focus. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, I got a question. This is a lot of systems or coaching groups or whatever. They have a new patient workshop specifically for new patients, and in some cases, the patients aren't able to convert until after they've gone to that workshop. In your system, do they convert in some other step? Is there a different workshop, or are they just converted at a report of findings and then they have to go to the workshop as well? How does that work?
Yep, absolutely. So I understand now your question. Yes, some doctors do it as a two step. They combine that day 4, what we say, in the day 2, 3, and 4. So, for example, day 1 usually is a day 1, day 2 thing for some chiros. So they do their consultation evaluation on day 1, and then on the day 2 they do like a 2-hour report of findings where they give them the health talk, they clarify expectations and agreements, they give recommendations, and they pay, and they get their first adjustment. So we find that that's just too much. So we prefer to divide it. We divide the whole patient conversion process in 4 days. The day 1, consultation, evaluation. If we decide and we find that you're in the right place, then we're going to give you the day 2, right? Your next day, which is the report of findings. We're going to talk about the time recommendations, the energy recommendations, and the financial recommendations. And if they agree, then we'll accept them as a patient. Then they will start that first adjustment on that second day. They also pay on that second day. Then on the third day will be the day 3, which is expectations and agreements. This is one aspect of the patient process that very few doctors emphasize on, and is actually one of the big 7 of retention: clear expectations and agreements. Every great relationship starts with clear expectations and agreements. Think about it. So on day 3, we sit down with them and say, all right, this is what you can expect. This is what we expect from you. We expect you to be on time to your visits, to be and make all your visits. If you miss an appointment, to make it within 72 hours. You know, we give them the rules of engagement, what we expect from them. And also we discuss on that day 3 what they can expect from us.
Right.
So this is what you can expect from us if you do this. And basically it's the 3-legged stool of results, which is the 3 things that they have to do in order for us to be able to perform and do our best job.
Gotcha.
So that will be the day 3. So then on the day 4, which not necessarily happens on the 4th visit, but usually on that first week of care, it will be the day 4, which is the Better Results Faster workshop. Why? We name it that way because they have just invested. They said, I'm going to give you a try. I trust you enough. I believe in what you do right now enough, and I trust you enough to invest my time, my energy, my focus, and my money to do what you are telling me to do so I can correct the cause of my problem and achieve my goals.
Yeah.
So the Better Results Faster workshop then answers the obvious question after you invest money, which is how can I get the best and how can I get the most out of this investment? How can I get the most out of the time I'm going to invest, the energy, the focus, and the money? Well, this is how you optimize your resources with the Better Results Faster workshop. It's the value economy. This is when you bring massive value, you blow their minds, and it's the most highly leveraged process of the patient experience. Now, the second one is progress evaluation. By the way, did I answer your question? Did that bring clarity around the patient? Okay.
Better where it falls in the steps, the process. Yeah.
Right. And also the way I also like it that way is because it's a very trainable patient process experience. Mm-hmm. You don't depend on a really, extroverted, super high energy, gladiator chiropractor to be consistently successful with this patient process, with the day one, day four, the TRP patient process. So I found that it's super trainable, very easy to train, and to produce consistent results in all types of chiropractor: extroverted, introverted, higher energy, not so high energy, more quiet and methodistic, or more like freestyle. So gotcha. It's a really, really, really efficient. By the way, David, Brian, we're gonna put a link underneath for everybody who's watching this to have access to the Remarkable Practice ebook. Basically, in that ebook, you got everything that we're talking about today and more. It's a gem in the chiropractic profession. Everybody must have that. It's such a powerful tool to have. That's my go-to book when I have questions regarding process and procedures. So you're going to have the link. You're going to have access to it down there. And of course, if you have any questions around any of these topics and you would like to have a call with me, and it will be complimentary, you can also, you have the link down there to schedule a complimentary call with me, a 30-minute call, and I will be delighted to answer any questions that you have and shed some light on some of the topics. So,
all right. So, did you want to talk about that today, or are we going to leave that for another day?
I'm sorry, I got cut off. I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, hopefully I'm not getting lost here. I think we want to talk a little bit more about progress exams, further the process, right?
Absolutely.
And, I mean, is a progress exam a re-exam in your process? Is it the same thing?
No, and that's a very, very, very good question, because we need to clarify those two. You got to separate those two: progress exams and re-exams. Progress exams, think about micro exams. It's like a slip and check. Let's see how you, the patient, is doing, not how we are doing, how you are doing, how well you are doing. Is their report card, not ours. Why? Because on day 3, we set the expectation that if you follow the adjustment rhythms, if you do the exercises that we're going to teach you, show you, and tell you what to do, and if you break the bad habits, which is the 3-legged stool of results, if you do those 3 things, the probabilities of you reaching the goals that you have in this office are much higher. So let's see how you're doing. And then that's when the progress exam occurs. It occurs in our process every 12 visits, and it's divided in 2 parts: progress exam, and then on the next visit is the report. Today, we're not going to talk about the report. What I do really want to talk about is why the progress exam is so important. Because if you're having retention issues, Brian, if some of these dogs, which the majority do, uh, I had retention issues, major retention issues, and I thought I didn't. I thought I was like super philosophically and so into the mission that in my mind everybody was staying, but really they weren't. It was so hard to grow 10 new patients a week, and I only grew 2 visits from week 1
Yeah.
to week 2. It's like, wait, where did these 30
You're
people go? Where are the other 28, right? So first of all, are you measuring your retention? Do you know the metrics on retention? Because you cannot influence what you don't measure. And the second thing is, let's troubleshoot it. Let's go through the 6 sides of the Rubik's Cube. So for example, one of the sides of the Rubik's Cube, the first question is this, if you're having a retention issue, is it a vision problem? Mm-hmm. What do I mean by vision problem? So does the doctor have clarity around what the product is? Mm-hmm. In other words, are your intentions, are your actions matching your intentions? Mm-hmm. So you want them to stay, but you don't give them or show them reasons to do so.
Right.
That would be a vision problem. Now, no, it's not a vision problem. So what else could it be? Well, it could then be a leadership problem. So the doctor assumes, an example of that would be that the doctor assumes that the patient gets it. You take the patient for granted. And then I'm telling you that is the, at least for myself, one of the main reasons why they left. I took them for granted. And then the progress exams will come and I'll just breeze through them. I'll just assume that they get it, right? It's like, hey man, this is so good. Look, this better, change, great. See you on the next 12. And then they're like, they didn't feel that their values were met with that progress exam. So that's very important, to meet their values. So no, it's not a leadership problem. So what else could it be? Well, it could be a systems problem. Maybe you don't have a progress exam implemented.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And if you're doing it, it's not systemized in a way that goes according and is aligned with the narrative of the patient and where they are at in the chiropractic narrative. So that's another thing that it could be. It could be also maybe it could be a people problem. In other words, you're delegating progress exams to a low leadership person, and that happened to me too. I started delegating the progress exams to team members that weren't capable of really doing it. But why? Because I also had a training issue. I wasn't training them enough. Right. And then the last one is energy, which is the 6th side of the Rubik's Cube. Are you putting the right amount of focus into it? And when you do it, are you as excited as them? So basically, with progress exams, if you do them the right way, aligned with their narrative, if you're showing them what you're measuring, how they can influence what you're measuring, why is it that it's so important that we measure that? And they actually know and they are aware that they are being measured. Then you're engaging, Dr. Brian, the Hawthorne effect, which is the reason why medical doctors don't have to worry about retention. It's because of the Hawthorne effect.
Tell me about it.
Man, the Hawthorne effect. First thing, the person needs to know that they are being measured. You go to the MD, you have these symptoms, and they go like, I don't know, we got to do a blood test. So we're going to be measuring you. Then second thing is, what is being measured? We're going to measure all these indicators. And then I'm going to teach you how you can influence what you're being measured. And then give great feedback, give really good feedback. So if you have those 4 embedded in your progress evaluations, then you're engaging the full power of the Hawthorne effect. And then just psychologically in their patient narrative, it just fits right in. And the process from becoming a believer to an understander, it's just more
Let me see
easier.
let me see if I can ask a question or make sure I understand how powerful this really is, because from what I understand, you're saying is you're telling the patient, hey, here's what we're going to be measuring, right? To just gleaning from what you've said so far, we're going to be measuring 1, 2, 3 different things.
Right.
That's how you're going to know you are getting better. And that's how you know you're going to be getting closer to your goals and you're getting your money's worth and everything we agreed to in the beginning, right?
Exactly.
And you're also telling them, based on what you said, I think, is this is how you can influence those numbers too, which would come in where that would come in. You said the 3-legged stool. I don't remember exactly what those are, but I would assume making your visits on time and
Breaking
eliminating
bad habits
breaking
and
the
the
bad.
exercises. Correct.
Those are like exercises, breaking bad habits, and doing the things that are proactive. I would assume like home care and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So here's what's being measured. Here's how you know if you're getting what your money's worth, right? To get that, we can do our part if you're here. So number 1 is be here, right?
Exactly.
Do your part, and the other 2, break the bad habits, and I guess do the proactive things. So giving them a clear mechanism. So when you're in a progress exam and they're not getting the results, then you can point exactly to the same things every single time, which are, well, have you been here? Exactly. Yeah, okay. Or if they haven't been there, you can address the objection. Well, why haven't you been here? Is there do you have trouble making it? Do we need to change your schedule? Whatever. Well, have you been doing your home exercises, your home care? And if not, why? Well, I can't do them. I don't know how to do them. You get to pinpoint where the problem is. And I guess breaking bad habits. Well, no, I still sleep on a concrete floor, whatever. So when are we fixing that thing? Because we can't get to these where you want it to be if you don't do your part. We can only do our part when you're here, kind of thing.
Exactly. So when none of that is clear, then the responsibility is all in the doctor.
Yeah.
And now you feel that you have to fix them. Now you feel that you have to heal them.
Right.
Now you feel that if they're not getting the results, now it's your fault. First of all, you don't fix anything. That's not your job. Second of all, you're not the healer. God is the healer. The innate intelligence of the body is the healer. You're just an instrument. And third, it could never be your fault. Now, I'm assuming that you're coming and you're delivering care and delivering value to your most to your 100%, whatever that is for you. So what is your 100%? My 100% was I need to be 100% present. If I'm 100% present, like literally nothing else exists around me except this person and whatever I'm doing, my analysis. If I am 100% present, they're getting 100% my being, and that's how I know I gave my 100%. But if I'm thinking, oh man, there's so many people, I'm running behind, I gotta do this quickly. Oh my God, wait, the new patient didn't come in. Yes, I'll go home earlier today. Man, awesome. 3 progress exams. Oh, I don't want to do them. Oh shit, and then you have all these conversations that create this mental clutter that disconnect you from just being a clear and present instrument. Then,
got it.
So I'm assuming, right, that you're coming in at 100% because it's a big deal. That's what differs from just giving an adjustment and the adjustment with the extra something, how BJ Palmer used to talk about. So,
all right, this was awesome. We gotta wrap it up. So
wrap it.
A few things. Number 1, like you said, you're going to have the TRP ebook that they can download. We'll have the link in the notes below the video. Plus, we'll also email that out after this. There's another opportunity where they can actually schedule one-on-one time with you, maybe ask questions, understand the systems a little bit more. There'll be a link separately for that.
Yep.
One other thing, which we kind of glossed over, this October event. create a link for that. But when is that? That's October what? And in Chicago. Right? What's the dates?
October 22nd and 23rd, Friday, Saturday, live TRP retention immersion. And we're going to do a deep dive on this big 7 of patient dropout, which is the big 7 also of patient retention. Mm-hmm. And yeah, if you just come out with one thing that you implement and do different, I mean, you've been to these events, only one thing, it's going to completely alter the course of where you're going right now, and you're going to finish very differently financially in 2021. And let me tell you, the practices that were affected the less by the lockdown were the practices that were solid on retention.
Yep.
So retention, it's a reflection of your clarity and your patient's clarity of what is it and why is it that they're coming to your office. So they don't believe chiropractic, they understand chiropractic. And once they understand chiropractic, it's just the ball is rolling. So the energy it takes to just keep that ball rolling it's less. But if you're not doing it the right way, then you're always feeling that you're going uphill, because it's always uphill. It's a matter of how uphill you're pushing them. You're either reducing that uphill or really making it really steep. So it's October 22, 23. I'll be there. The link is gonna be also there, and we'd love to see you there and share. I mean, just talk to anybody who has come to any of those events. They're always blown away. So I love them. They're like right there, no BS, super practical, in and out, and then I see changes immediately.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much. We will have you on again soon. Definitely. We're only in August, so we've got some more retention to talk about. So we'll have you back on a couple of weeks. We'll dive down into another component of retention.
Absolutely. Love you. Right. Take care, brother. Bye.